One point about the Canadian, I hesitate to say truckers because I think some of them are truckers, obviously, but it really is about anti-vax people who, and my sense of what has happened with this thing is that this was a grassroots phenomenon, not unlike, well, I don't know, even like the Tea Party, even its basics were terribly grassroots. It was, the Tea Party was when it was a Ron Paul phenomena that got sort of like co-opted and then migrated over. But it was grassroots in the same way that we have anti-vaxxers in this country as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not just grassroots too. I mean, we covered it on the, okay, go on, sorry.
And then the right in this country starts pouring money into this.
Oh, well, you're making that point.
And the value of them doing this, like, you know, people are like, why would this be valuable to the right wing in this country to do this? And it's not just the narrative. Because at one point, somebody was like, hey, wait a second. We have 1/3, almost 1/3 of the trade from Canada being blocked now. And we are out of the realm of, you know, I know Fox is making hay out of it because it's like some type of proletariat uprising. It's not.
And like they care.
Well, right, as if they care. But what it also is doing is, and we're going to see this in the coming weeks, it's going to increase the prices on cars. It is going to increase the prices on lumber. It is going to increase the prices on some agricultural products. I mean, we're going to see this in the data. I am quite convinced that the real big money is coming in and saying, like, figure out a way to screw up the trade, because this stuff is not, it's not like, if this ends tomorrow, we're going to feel the reverberations for weeks or months, at least in the data. If it ends in 3 or 4 weeks, this is going to last for 3 or 4 months, and it's going to create an ongoing ripple effect on prices in this country. And, you know, you could see there was a couple of folks who were digging into the shareholders meetings. You can look and see that in industries where there is higher concentration, you have greater inflation, and you have CEOs telling their shareholders, like, we've been able to capitalize on this environment and raise our prices, you know, well over the inflationary pressures that they have, to the extent that there are any. And these inflationary pressures, we should say, are all about the supply lines, all about logistics. And now we have 1/3 of our trade is being halted with, I think, our number one trading partner. And so that's highly significant when we're talking about inflation. That's a story that it doesn't feel like it's being reported. Like, it's just a coincidence that they decided to block. Like, wait a second. Why are they blocking trade with the U.S. if it's a domestic issue they have with Trudeau? Right? Like, this is, there's material value. It's not a coincidence that there's U.S. dollars flowing into that, and the implications are going to be felt here as much, if not more, than they are in Canada in terms of, like, inflationary pressures.
Well, and think of the political opportunity with that too for the Democrats.
Cool.
What you just said, and then there's the fact that this gambit on the part of whoever they may be manipulating it, and the people who were doing it. It's blue collar workers who are being affected. They're furloughing people in cars.
Yep.
Other truckers. Other truckers are going, hey man, you know, I got to get my stuff over here, and I've got to go around, and, you know, anyone who isn't participating, that it is the blue collar people who are being directly affected by this protest, and is an opportunity for the Democrats as well.
You know what? It would be nice if the Democrats, it's too bad they don't have, like, some type of institutional ability to do some public hearings on who's funding this and who might be benefiting from it. It would be so awesome if the Democrats only had the ability to, like, hold public hearings on the question of the national security implications of our car industry or whatever it is they want to, create some pretenses like who's funding.
I thought that's
this
why
blockade?
they put AOC on oversight, right? They wanted to use her as an attack dog in that way. Then do so.
This should be happening yesterday.
They don't want the American public to understand how much dark money can do.
Maybe.
Well, that's probably part of it. I'm sure that's part of it. But yeah, I mean, this is, there are that whole side of this equation, especially with this inflation. I have been really gobsmacked that I haven't seen the so-called left. I mean, I don't mean the left, but I mean the Democratic Party, I guess, attack this inflation for, as price gouging.
It's unbelievable. It's insane. There's so much evidence of it. And look, we have, and the idea, you know what it is? It's because there's the Larry Summers out there, that wing of the party, wants to make it as if the money that we gave to support people during the COVID relief is a function of it's creating this inflation, and you're seeing it with this like attacks on MMT because they do not want the dirty little secret out that you can spend money to support the American public and not create inflation. Because if you look what's happening in Europe, the differential in inflation in Europe, where they did not expend more money than normal because they already had these things in place. The differential in inflation from there to there can definitely be explained by a combination of supply, of logistic issues, and a price gouging that is taking place by CEOs, and concentration. I mean, it is. But, of course, you don't have a Democratic Party that's going to make hay out of this because Nancy Pelosi's up there protecting the free market so they can trade stocks in as lawmakers. Just effing nuts.
Yeah, crazy. And this is the one thing that they have that they could actually. I mean, there's a populist feeling, I guess, in the country. It's been there for a while. I think since the financial crisis, we've been seeing this, maybe going all the way back to the 90s and Ross Perot and all that stuff, trade deals and what have you. This has been building for a long time. And the idea that the Democratic Party has not been able to co-opt that for themselves, being the party actually that gives a damn about the working class, and gives a damn about workers and, and kids and all the rest of it, is just mind-boggling. And here we have other.
It's not just. I mean, here is where we have people who write in and try and push this point all the time. There is a fear of harnessing that populist power in the Democratic Party at least in terms of the big money that pushes this stuff. I mean, it is. I hate to use Air America as another example, but the Air America never got the funding from the big Democratic money people because there was always this concern, I think that was unstated, in addition to the management issues. But that was like, are we really giving money to go, like, populism is just not sexy for some people, Radio is not a sexy medium, but it is the most populous medium. It is the one that reaches 98% of the population in this country. And, I think one of the reasons why, John Edwards may have been a creep, but one of the reasons why he was, everybody immediately went to Obama and Clinton in there is because Edwards is talking like a populist, and they did not want that. Heather Parton. People can find your work, obviously, at the Uber blog Hullabaloo and at salon.com. It is always a pleasure.
Oh, thanks for having me. Have a great week. Thank you, guys.